banger? Hell yeah.
Class is in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. Got a great guest on with us today, Blockchain Crusader. We're going to be taking a look, PCE data, what happened today on the economic side, what's going to happen with the market in Bitcoin. Did it pump yesterday or what? We're going to be looking at all that, seeing where that resistance is at. We're at it right now, by the way. Keep that in mind. All that and more today on Piper Academy, the morning show. Let's get it, guys. Classes in session. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning show here, Market Open on Piper Academy. Guys, great to have you all here with us today. We're going to be taking a look at what happened with Bitcoin yesterday. We talked about some stuff that FD White's post on X had the little hot Tua guy right there on that candle. Guys, it played out great. We're going to be taking a look at that. And we got a very, very special guest on today, Blockchain Crusader. My man, what is up, bro? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, my dude? Thank you for having me on, bro. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. No, I'm glad to have you here, especially considering that today I don't have TradeFly. He's at Bitcoin. He's at the Bitcoin conference right now, Bitcoin 2024. And then OC guy is AWOL. We're going to have to check on him. You know, they said yesterday, I don't know if you guys are tracking this, but yesterday in the news, yesterday they caught El Mayo and El Chapo's son, two of the Sinaloa cartel bigwigs, like that took over after El Chapo. So, and it was right here in El Paso. So, I don't know if OC was in El Paso yesterday. I'm just saying. So, but no, he's not available today. He's not on the show. So, we'll find out where he's at later. But I'm glad to have you here, man. Thanks for joining me today. How have you been? And what have you been up to? What is going on in Crusaders world?
I've been good, man. I've just been grinding it out, right? I've just been uploading more content and been doing live streams lately. Lately, I haven't had enough of a schedule to be able to do live streams. So I've just been doing a lot of more uploaded content on TikTok and YouTube mostly. That's kind of where I've been dedicating most of my time. I need to get back onto the live stream schedule, but it just hasn't been able to work out for me in the short term. But dude, now that you're mentioning all that stuff about, I'm surprised Bitcoin's pumping that they arrested these guys, because without those massive major criminals, I don't know who's going to buy all the Bitcoin now.
Yeah, because isn't that like, that's all, everyone that uses it, it's for criminal nefarious reasons, right? That's what I've heard. According to Elizabeth Warren, this is the chosen currency of criminals, something that's completely transparent for the whole world to see what's going on with it. That's what I would do.
Just arrested. What's the name of the senator that they just arrested that had a bunch of stashes of gold and cash from bribes that he was talking? He's been talking smack about Bitcoin since like 2017,
and had nothing on Bitcoin. Nothing. No wallet. What, sitting around with his tantrum cards, you know?
What a dumb criminal. He should have
dumb criminal.
He should have been using Bitcoin.
Should have been. Or at the very least, you know, like Mumu or something. Have you checked out Mumu lately, dude?
I just coin here, the Mumu the bull. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Dude, Crypto Archie and Crux have been talking about it, and it was absolutely ripping off. So it's up like 56% in the last 24 hours.
What is it? It's just a random meme coin?
Just a random meme coin, dude. Random meme coin. Let's take a look at the chat here and see who all we got in the chat. Got username in here. We got Ninja Glock in here. Harp is in the house. Best bot in the business. Alexandra G in the house with us. And Warrior 458. I can't even read that. Sorry, Warrior. It's Warrior. Warrior's in the house. And then we got Mike Play in here with us. We got Buck in the house with us. Trade Intuition. He said, remember, smash that like on your way in. I appreciate that. Yes, please smash that like button. Let's go ahead and get into the news, Crusader. Then let's jump into this Bitcoin chart. Let's talk about some Bitcoin price action, because Bitcoin did something yesterday that nothing else did. Just so you guys are tracking, altcoins are sitting at where Bitcoin was at when it was $55,000. And Bitcoin is back up to where it rejected from while everything stayed pretty much in that level. So some Bitcoin dominance taking place right now big time. So we're going to jump over to the news. We're going to come back and talk about that and catch up with Crusader, guys. So let's jump over to the news and let's take a look at what we got going on here, guys. Just a reminder, our news brought to you by Decrypted.tax. He's the trusted tax person for the Piper Academy here, guys. He does my own personal taxes. He's a tax attorney. He is a tax accountant, and he specializes in crypto. He trades crypto. He's kind of a degen. Even his profile picture is a Bored Ape Club guy. Just saying. But yeah, he knows everything there is to know about how to file crypto taxes, guys, and he is the sponsor here on our news every day. So let's jump over into that news. Fear and Greed Index sitting at 68. We are in greed. Did not get that pullback that I thought we would see. We actually stayed pretty much right where we were at. Greed coming in at 68. Bitcoin probably inducing a lot of that. Let's jump over to these crypto bubbles, guys. You'll see a lot of green on the day. We are getting a pullback on the hourly here on some things because we got mixed data today on the PCE data that came in, guys. Kind of mixed on that front. So we're getting a lot of mixture of how price reaction is responding to this. Let's go ahead and jump down and see what we're seeing here. Put that back on the daily. Oh, we just turned green on the hourly, guys. Maybe we're getting another rebound here. Bitcoin sitting at 67,672, guys. Ethereum at 32.47, just under 32.50. We got Tether paying peg to the dollar. That's a good thing. Stay right there, Tether. BNB at $578. Solana's at 180. You guys can see Solana got a nice move up, 6.8%. Ethereum only 3.1. Bitcoin's 5.6. So Solana did perform quite well with that move, but a lot of other stuff stayed quite low. Ethereum being the big one. Cardano up 5% there. Toncoin up 3.7. Tron up 1.2. And then Avalanche rounding it out there in that 3.3% range for the day. Chainlink, got to look at Chainlink, 3.9. And then Bitcoin Cash, probably because of the conference stuff going on, getting a little rally up there too, guys. Let's look at liquidations for the past 24 hours. We got a 24-hour here, 50,923 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $188.38 million. Largest single liquidation order happened on OKX. It was on Bitcoin swap, 9.5 million. I want to show you guys something. If we come over here and we refresh this 24-hour here, this is the interesting part here. You guys can see Ethereum longs getting liquidated, right? That's what happened there. You can see 46.3 million worth of longs in the past 24 hours on ETH, 21.6 million on shorts. But look at Bitcoin, total opposite. It was the shorts that got liquidated. That's why it's red. If you guys see this and it's green, more longs got wrecked than shorts. And if you look at this and it's red, more shorts got wrecked than longs. And that's what we're seeing there. The data that came in this morning, guys, that's kind of this little shakeup going on with everything, the ups and downs and volatility. Well, it's what it is. It's volatility. It is because of this core PCE data that came in. Let's go ahead and bring this over. Core PCE price index. This is the preferred data point that the Fed Reserve looks at for when are they going to do rate cuts? Are they going to pause? Whatever. Core PCE price index, guys, it was expected to be at 0.1%. Neutral with its previous. It actually came in a little bit higher. So that core PCE coming in a little bit higher. Let's jump over and see what it says here. U.S. core PCE price index, the Fed Reserve's preferred gauge to measure underlying inflation, rose by 0.2% from the previous month of June 2024, above the market expectation of 0.1%. It marked an acceleration from the 0.1% in the prior month, which was the softest increase since November 2023. Meanwhile, the headline gauge rose by 0.1%. And we're going to go over and check out what the Kabisi letter said, because he's got a pretty decent little breakdown here on it. He says, June PCE inflation, Fed's preferred inflation measure, was 2.6% above the expectation of 2.5%. So this is the solid rate. If you guys look here, there's the you've got the month over month, and then you've got this PCE index here. Actually, we're supposed to come in at 2.5%, came in at last month's 2.6%, beating that expectation there. And then the year over year also coming in neutral at its expectation. So that's what he's talking about with this one. Core PCE inflation fell to 2.5%, in line with that expectation. The new PCE inflation is flat. And the PPI, that's the producer price index, is rising. So we're seeing the producer price inflation going up, the PCE inflation flattening out. Can the Fed really cut rates in September? Great question. So softening of the economy, strengthening of the cost of the cost basis of inflation. So that's what we're seeing this morning. That's why I said a little bit mixed data going on there, but that is what we're going to be keeping an eye on today with that price action. Let's go ahead and jump it over back to Crusader. Dude, that is our PCE data today. And I don't know how much you follow the economic data. You know, I used to come over there and talk this stuff with you guys all the time on the show, but are you following any of this? What are your thoughts? Are we going to see this rate cut in September? Because it's like 100% chance on the FOMC CME prediction. So what do you think?
Yeah, man, I think so. I've been saying I've been saying for a long time that rate cuts were coming, and they've actually held out a lot longer than I thought they were. So I definitely think it's coming. I think it has to happen at some point, you know. And I think September has a very good likelihood of happening for the simple fact that just too many things are happening. We saw the Japanese stock exchange start dropping. We saw Canada also having some quantitative easing already happening. I forgot what country was also quantitative easing as well right now.
UK
already.
did.
Oh, there you go, UK. You know, there's just a lot of things happening, and yes, the United States has so far been the best performing of this situation, but at some point, the United States also has to take that pivot. And I think I think it's only a matter of time. They can't hold out forever. You know, the withdrawal symptoms are for real. People forget we saw banks collapsing a year ago, right? A year and a half ago, we saw banks collapsing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's not a random event. That's not a normal thing that just happens, right?
Have you ever?
We saw
Have
the
you
housing
ever read-
sales are dropping. So there's a lot of things that are not doing so well right now.
Have you ever read the instructions for Monopoly?
Yes.
Have you ever read what it says about the banks going bankrupt, the banker when he goes bankrupt?
Dude, I actually made a TikTok about that a long time ago. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head right now, but yes, it's something along the lines like if the bank runs out of money, you can just kind of like print more money. But if you know it better, you can go ahead and say, I don't know what the exact word.
Yeah, it says, what happens when the banker runs out of money? It says the banker cannot go bankrupt. If this happens, take slips of paper and write the numbers on them and continue playing. We built our banking system off Monopoly. What the hell?
It's wild when you start peeling the layers back, dude, and you start looking at how things actually work. You're like, what? Like, there's just that's why like the Bitcoin standard and like learning about Bitcoin is so powerful. Even if let's forget about all the other altcoins or whatever, just Bitcoin alone, yeah, maybe it's not gonna make you rich or whatever, but the technology that Bitcoin provides, the utility that it provides. When you see some of these people like RFK just recently came out, whoa, OC guy, what's going on, man? He just recently came out yesterday in Karate Combat and said that after his previous Bitcoin conference, he had bought some Bitcoin, but he went back and looked at it again, and he put, I don't know how true this is, that he said that he put the majority of his wealth into Bitcoin itself. And it's just one of those things. Once you start buying Bitcoin because you actually understand what it's doing, what it's providing to the world, there's just no way you can stop buying. Why would you want to hold anything else like dollars or fiat currencies of any kind when you know there's a way stronger alternative currency out there? And that's what the Bitcoin standard talks about. Good money, hard money drives out weak money. And it's an infectious disease that people just catch.
Absolutely. No, they're spot on, man. What's up, OC? We were worried about you. I saw that I saw El Chapo's son and El Mayo from the Sinaloa cartel got busted yesterday, and I was concerned for you, OC. You okay? You good?
You were wondering if I was giving myself in also? No,
Yeah.
not my time yet. Not my time yet.
Awesome, man. It's good to have you. We were talking about the PCE data this morning. We'll get ready to jump into Bitcoin. Shout out to everybody in the chat if you're joining us. Don't forget, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you're new here, stick around. We do this every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So glad to have you here. And guys, if you guys are digging having Crusader on as a guest, go down below, check out his link, his YouTube show. He's got some good content over there. And like I was saying, you were talking earlier on one of your videos about, I think it was on Injective. You were talking about Injective and Render. You missed getting in on those, and you were talking about patience. How many people do you think were not patient yesterday and said, there's further downside coming on Bitcoin. I'm going to sell here and I'll buy it cheaper. How many of those people do you think are out there right now, Crusader?
Dude, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there panic selling. I see comments on my TikTok all the time. Bull market is over. Bull market is over. Price hasn't pumped in 3 months. Bull market is over. No new all-time high. It's over. It's over. It's like, dude, it doesn't work that way. You don't just constantly make new all-time highs every week. At some point, that will happen, right? We will be having a more accelerated run, but you don't just constantly make new all-time highs the entire bull market without pullbacks and without moments of consolidation. And yeah, man, Injective and Render freaking ran, bro. Injective went all the way up to like $50, and I didn't catch a lick of it. I didn't catch a single lick, and I was like, dude, this thing's so. And look at it now; it came all the way back,
All the way back,
dude, all the way back to like $20 or some change. And what a great entry point compared to buying at $60, $40 or whatever it was, you know, when it was running. Like, it's just one of these things where you just have to wait, and now you get a way better, more entry point for it. And I think Injective is going to continue doing well. A lot of people also don't understand that some of these runs, right, these rallies, like with Injective mainly, there was a lot of airdrop things happening, airdrop season, right? Airdrop season cooled off, altcoin season cooled off, and Injective took a big hit. And that's okay. It doesn't mean Injective won't come back. It definitely will, but it just takes time. And look at what a way better entry point at Injective at $25 versus $50, right? That's a 50% cut right there. Render's another one. Render's having a nice little pump today, 15%. Let's go. But Render's another one. I'm very bullish on Render. There's a lot of bullish news out there for Render. Also, didn't catch any of it on the way up to freaking $13 or whatever it was. But guess what? I've been dollar cost averaging at $6. Once it dropped below 8, once it started dropping below 8, I started keeping a closer eye on it, and it lost 7, and between 7 and 6, I've been dollar cost averaging some Render. Can it drop lower? Absolutely. If the market takes a bigger tank, right, it could drop lower. There's a naked point of control down at like $4.75. Are we going to see that? I don't know. But if we do see a $40,000 Bitcoin or whatever some people are calling for, then I could think it's possible for Render to hit $4. I'm not waiting for it. I'm not waiting for that, right? I'm dollar cost averaging my way there. If we get there, I'll load up the truck at $4. But yeah, man, it's just about patience.
Yeah, I don't remember what level Crux and I started buying Render. It was one of our early in plays on AI. So, and we've been in it for a hot minute. But yeah, I definitely added to some of that bag as it came down there again. So, let's go ahead and jump over. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. There's a lot of things going on with those today. That Ethereum ETF sell off. Pretty harsh. So we're going to take a look at that, and then we'll come back around and talk about some projects that you're looking at, Crusader. So let's jump over to my chart. Let's take a look. Here's Bitcoin, guys. I want to bring this up first. Let's do this. Yesterday we talked about this post here from FD White. It's the Haktua post. OC, I'll get you back on here in a moment, brother, for pictures. But right now, this is what I got. So we talked about this, and this was the level that he was watching. And I said, okay, so what he's saying here is that right here, Haktua, on that spit on that thing, we need this to go up. That was what I heard from him yesterday. And so there you go. I put that on there for you guys. We now have the overlay. We can drop it on here when we need to. If you take a look at where this was at, guys, this was the 8 o'clock hour, 7 to 8 o'clock right here. This is while we were live. We were hitting the box down here. I put the T box on here, and I said, watch this 50-day and 100-day. This is going to be key support. If we lose that, then we have to assume that we're going to come down to the 200-day moving average on the golden pocket down at 50,000. Well, Evidently, FDY Tatua post on X, it played out well. Just so that you guys are aware, she was at the Bitcoin conference last night. Also, where's that picture of Rand Nooner? There he is, right there. VIP area. She was back in the VIP area of the Bitcoin conference too. So maybe we have her to thank. We have her to thank for everything that happened with Bitcoin last night, getting a bounce there. And guys, from that bounce, when we were talking about that was key support to now, that is 6.6%, 6.7% there. Great run up, and we broken now. So you guys remember here, I was talking about this earlier in the week. I'm on this is yesterday. I said, look, we're at the top of this channel. We're at the 786. This is going to be key resistance areas. Let's jump over here to the 4 hour. Take a look at what's going on here, guys. We're getting a possible breakout on this channel. This is an ascending channel here. You guys can see this purple, the pink channel coming down. We've broken out of this before. We've had some fake outs, but right now, these fake outs that we had before were up near that value area high. And so when we did a little volume pullback, it was pulling us back in. I think that if we do this again, because we're above the point of control right there, if we get up to the value area high again, and we do come back to retest, this is enough of a sell-off that the buying pressure kicks back in. Where here, it's a very short distance, and we're back underneath and stuck in that price range again. Guys, this is pretty good opportunity for Bitcoin right now to actually finally get the breakout from this pattern. Just so you guys are tracking, we still have not triggered on the weekly green buy for the hash rate ribbon. We're still sitting here on this with it being in the recovering phase. Yes, on the 5-day, we have triggered the buy on and below, but the weekly has not fired off yet. I'm going to be watching for that. That's going to be key. Important for me to really get bullish is that buy indicator popping on the weekly. Remember, 17 of the last 19 triggers of this indicator have led to massive rallies in the market here. Let's go back and just like take a look here, back here at after, obviously COVID, there we had that drop there. You can see one here. We printed this right there. That led to this entire market run up. I don't care how far you want to go up. It's right there. It's 225%. The last time we triggered it, when it triggered again here, that one, that was, the pullback that we had triggered another one. So you look here, we had this one. This is an easy measure one. Let's get it on there, right there. I mean, that was a 42% move just from that. So we've had historically, this has been a powerful indicator, and I'm going to be watching that closely for that buy indicator, the trigger. We're still staying inside of our trade box, guys, and it looks like we're about to run up to that top side again. I think we could see in August a new all-time high on Bitcoin, and we've been talking about that for a while here in the show. Halfway through July, end of July, going into August, I thought was going to be very bullish. So that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. Let's jump over to Ethereum real fast just to talk about this for a second, guys. Nope, not you. You're the wrong chart. Let's go back over here. Thanks. Let's go to Ethereum here and take a look at what we're seeing here on this. Guys, we hit the golden pocket. We hit the golden pocket on the 4 hour back here, and that was it. We lost the bottom of the golden pocket. We lost the 200 or the 100-day, the 50-day, the dynamic reactor, and then just fell. We caught all of our support on the 200-day EMA. That is where our support came in, getting our bounce up. But now it looks like we're starting to get a little pullback. Could this be a nice little bull flag for more upside? That's what I'm hoping to see there. But as of right now, we're not seeing enough confirmation on that. We do have a slight curvature starting to happen here on the Oscillator Pro, and we are getting rounded Heikin-Ashi top candles here on the relative strength index, the RSI primed. This is just the RSI line that you typically see turned into Heikin-Ashi candles, and we're starting to get a curvature on that. Guys, I do think that ETH could get another sell-off coming, and just to touch base on that, let's go over here and take a look at this. Grayscale ETH could run out of ether within weeks at the rate that they're selling off. Grayscale converted ETH spot Ethereum ETF has experienced substantial net outflows in the first few days of trading, totaling $1.2 billion. ETH's outflows have overwhelmed net inflows into the other spot Ethereum ETFs, but its assets under management could be depleted within a matter of weeks at this rate. So let's jump back over here to the trio cam. And let's talk about this because we're getting this massive sell-off on Ethereum. We're seeing this massive pump on Bitcoin, and Ethereum getting a little bit of a rally, but looks like we may have more downside, meaning this continuation of selling that Grayscale is doing could lead to more selling pressure on the ETH itself. Thoughts on this, Crusader? I mean, we talk all the time about buy the rumor, sell the news. That's really what this was with ETH, just like it was with Bitcoin. I know Alex O, crypto made a pretty good run on the shorting right at the day of the launch because he knew that this was going to happen. So shout out to him. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, man. At the day of the launch, it hit perfectly the Q2 naked point of control, which was right around July 21st, 22nd, 23rd. We were right out there, and then we instantly got rejected from its Q2 naked point of control and dropped. Since then, it came right down to its gold pocket, tapped to the 618, and it's been bouncing from there along with Bitcoin. And there's no surprise. Grayscale once again, right? They scooped up a ton of ETH when the ETFs weren't even a thing over a year and a half ago. They've been scooping up a ton, and they bought a massive discounts, and now they launched the ETF. And the first thing they're gonna do, just how they did with Bitcoin, is dump a ton of it. They've sold a ton of Ethereum. They've sold over 338,000 Ethereum in the 4 days or 3 days that it's been live. Yep. So a lot of ETH is being sold on there. You know, we also see information on chain of like how low ETH supply is on all the exchanges around. There's like 6 or 7, 8 year low or whatever that the statistic is. So I still think Ethereum is going to do very well long term, just how we saw with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin ETF came out, nothing but dumpage, and then at some point they slow down on the selling, and you know we see a massive rally up for Ethereum. Bitcoin also has the right now the rumor is, right, Mr. T. I don't know how political you guys get on this channel, what kind of words you guys say. I don't want to say anything, but Mr. T, right?
Hold on, did you see my post on X that I posted a couple days ago about politics?
I don't think so, no.
I said, for the people that come into the live streams that say, get off the politics, quit focusing on politics, we're here for crypto. Focusing on politics is focusing on crypto. And if you don't know that, you need to broaden your perspective of the world. So go ahead, please. Lay it out.
Especially in election year, right? Right now, we have Trump talking about Bitcoin potentially making it a reserve asset, right? And everyone's waiting for his speech. I think it's either today or tomorrow when he finally talks. He's going to be talking for 30 minutes at the Bitcoin conference, right? First president to ever go to a Bitcoin conference. That legitimizes the whole movement, right? That a president is actually showing up to one of these, Fugazi conferences that is no longer Fugazi. It's actually becoming more of a legitimate thing. And they're talking, is he going to announce? Who is it? Cynthia Loomis also talked about it. Potentially announcing something for making Bitcoin into the reserve asset, scenario to strengthen the dollar, like whether it's like 1% or 2%, whatever it was of allocation to it. The United States holds a ton of Bitcoin. They have like billions of dollars of Bitcoin. So I wouldn't, if they do that, if they make that announcement, right, we could see a massive run for Bitcoin. Bitcoin also has a naked point of control for its Q2 up at 69,000. Are we going to break that? I don't know. Are we going to break it? Or are we going to get rejected and come back down? I don't know. But it looks like it wants to, right? It looks like this is the buy the rumor, sell the news event. Everybody's waiting for Trump's speech. Maybe Trump doesn't mention it at all. And then we get a little bit closer to this Q2 and then, or you even tap it and then dump right back down. I don't know what's going to happen. I do agree with you on the aspect of, I think August and Q4 overall is going to be a more bullish momentum for Bitcoin, and Q4 is usually very bullish for crypto in general. I know the stock market took a massive hit the other day. They erased like 500 billion to almost $1 trillion worth of market cap the other day, which is something you don't normally see in the stock market. So the stock market is acting more like cryptocurrency, and crypto is acting more like the stock market by being so range bound for such a long period of time. So
yeah, Go ahead. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too here. I want to give a shout out to Mansa in the chat here. He said, "How would Bitcoin strengthen the dollar?" He would like to know what your opinion on that. So let's
Well,
jump over
it's
to
a
Tree. Okay, let's
hard
talk about it.
asset money, right? It's a hard asset money. It's better than fiat. There's a limited supply of it. Right, there's only 21 million. That's the whole thing. Hard asset, right? Money that cannot be inflated, money that cannot be manipulated the way fiat currencies have been, is what strengthens the dollar. It's an asset that, if you zoom out, right, people are focused on the day-to-day price action. Oh, Bitcoin's 52,000 today. Oh, Bitcoin's 57,000 tomorrow. Whatever, right? Everyone's focused on the day-to-day, but if you zoom out far enough from the chart, it's nothing but up and to the right. Right, it's long-term plays that strengthen the dollar. And if an asset that is outperforming almost everything out there, it's only been around for 13, 14 years or whatever it is, and is outperforming everything, it can't be more of it cannot be created. So whatever you have is what you have. So you better mine as much as you can for it, and hold it, because once you sell it and other countries pick it up, you're never going to have the same amount again, unless you're going to pay a lot more money for it later down the line. And that is what's going to strengthen the dollar. An asset like that just continue. That's why people pick up gold, right? People pick up gold, or countries pick up gold, because it's stable. It holds its value, right? But gold is too stable. It doesn't move. It doesn't appreciate enough compared to what they're doing with fiat. So they can't strengthen the dollar with how much they manipulate the dollar. Versus Bitcoin does move a lot more aggressively, which allows them to, with everything they're doing, all the fugazi they're doing to the dollar, to actually be able to at least continue to strengthen it during these times.
Yeah, and the more people that get into Bitcoin, so the reason that gold stays so stable is because of the amount of money that is in it. It's a global asset. And so the higher the liquidity that is in there, the higher the amount that is owned, the more difficult it is to manipulate. That's why volatility exists in small caps. That's why volatility exists in small cap stocks, meme coins, small cap exchanges has a lot of volatility, because they don't have the massive amount of liquidity present in it. As Bitcoin grows, we're going to see the stabilization of the price. And so the reason that people are so bullish on Bitcoin right now is because the money that can be made as that money flushes in. The time will come that people will not buy Bitcoin thinking they're going to get rich. They're going to buy Bitcoin because it's going to protect their money. Right now, we're still at that point where if you're holding Bitcoin now, you're getting into Bitcoin now, you have the possibility of making astronomical money over the next 10 years plus, as that TradFi global liquidity flushes in, and then the price starts to stabilize. That's why you don't see scam wicks on massive multi-trillion-dollar companies, because there's so much liquidity in it. One player really doesn't have the power to crash it. Yeah, you'll get pullbacks. You'll get that in anything, because when they start to sell, it's a big enough that they see the move. But you're not going to get this 20% pullbacks like you see today in Bitcoin once that is present. So shout out to Mansa. It was a great question there. And then also he said the Ethereum bottom has the Ethereum dip is done. He said, don't get sidelined. So I went over and checked out the chart, guys. Check it out. He might be onto something there. But what I was talking about, maybe we got this little flag for another continuation, guys, where it looks like we are breaking up out of that for another leg up again on the hourly. We're not getting a nice curvature here and starting to get a green candle on that RSI for that relative strength index. So looks like we could get that upside that we were talking about. Hopefully that is making a little bull flag for us for more upside. There we go. That's what we got going on. OC, let's kick it over to you. Let's see what you're seeing on some of the other charts. So we've already gone over Bitcoin and Ethereum, but if you got anything that you're seeing on Ethereum or Bitcoin right now, or one of those altcoins, let's jump in on your chart and see what you got there. And then we'll come back and talk some projects that Blockchain Crusader is keeping an eye on right now. So
Absolutely. I want to on what I did yesterday on the 4 hour Bitcoin very quick, because you mentioned at some point, like if you don't hold and you start selling, and yes, it did stop loss and I did not repurchase, and I want to touch back on that, right? Remember, guys, that I was telling you that I bought here, I bought here, I bought here. Therefore, therefore, when my last purchase was right here in this circle within this box, well then I executed it on spot. Then I set my stop to entry, went back down, hunted my entry. As you can see, it did went to my support that I was expecting, but also look at my alerts. I was expecting a wick down and actually I placed an entry buy right here. It did not went in, so it left me out and then keep moving upwards. A quick reminder, and this is not financial advice. If you do not have exposure to some of the assets that you would like to hold, then what are you waiting for, right? I'm not saying that you should be going all in, but if you have none, well, then I think you are going into more risk not having it than do having it and it dumping. So I still hold a ton of Bitcoin, and this is just basically my last bit that I'm willing to put in into this range or in this area. I also mentioned I'd rather buy a little bit more expensive in the future, but when I do have the upper hand, that it's gonna keep moving onwards, and that's because I already have exposure, right? So having said that, and also the daily here and take a look at what might be happening. Let me clear a little bit of my spaghetti. We could be forming another flag in here and we could be bouncing from it. Something that I really like to see is this absorption zone, because remember, when we see absorption zones, we usually see them at the bottom, and that gives us a big pump to the upside, right? So let me go run really quick. More thing that I want to say here that are the picture drone, it is that a possible head and shoulders. Look at that. Remember that we were talking about the inverse head and shoulders previously on the finally we could be going into the neckline and getting prepared for a breakout just as long as we have the fear. So we're still not out of the blue. We could still have a little bit of a rejection in here before we start thinking on pushing forward. Also, remember that we are going to be resistances, and this is not a resistance that you should not be worrying about, right? Because every single time that we hit it in the past, we've had a big reaction to it. So just be warned. Take a look at your indicators. As you can see, we have a couple of things bunching up right there, and that is worth to be taking a look at. On Ethereum, I was expecting a normal head and shoulders here, just like in Bitcoin, but it went straight down to the trend line that I have drawn. Is not perfect because we were speculating on where this trend line would be. Nonetheless, was very close enough to have that weakening action. Something important that I'm seeing right now. Somebody in the chat mentioned that we could be getting out of the blue. That could be it as long as we break above the zero line on the daily. But look at where we are standing right now on the zero line. Does this mean that we're going to be breaking out? No, not really. We usually look for zero line rejection, right? But instead of a zero line rejection, we see it piercing through. Just be aware, be warned that we could be going to visit a little bit more downside or a little bit of a range before we make that movement upwards. But talking about just getting at the end of the dump, that is completely possible and within the realms of possibility, which I believe that's happening. I want to throw it back to you guys before I bring up a couple of other icons that I'm seeing and having on my watch list. But yeah, just throwing it back to you
Awesome.
guys.
Awesome. Shout out to TradeFly. He is in the Bitcoin Nashville 2024 right now. And he said he went to have some breakfast. So shout out to TradeFly. I see him there in the chat. You with Keeper? If you're with Keeper, tell him we said what's up. There you go. And then, hey, shout out to Rayanne Shipley, my niece in the chat, coming to get smart on crypto. So, all right, Crusader. Let's talk your big play of the year, your big projects you're watching, because my big one was back in January when I told people I'm selling my Bitcoin, and I sold half of my Bitcoin to go into MicroStrategies, Marathon Digital, which is now Mara, and Clean Spark, and we have been trading the hell out of that over here at the Academy. So substantially up, much higher on those plays than my Bitcoin is. And for those that don't know, Yes, I sold a substantial amount of Bitcoin, but it was only half of my Bitcoin. So I'm still holding native Bitcoin. I'm just got some alternative plays. So what's your big play this year, Crusader? What project are you watching that you think is you're going to look back and go, aha, that was a smart move? What is it? What you got?
Yeah, man. It's hard to be I have two that I'm keeping a very, very close eye on. One is relatively a larger market cap already, but the two that I would say are my biggest like conviction plays I think are going to do very, very well. There's a bunch of projects that I think are going to do well, right? The obvious are like Render, Injective, Link, right? Those are the obvious ones most people talk about. But the two that I really am focused on, one is Ando. I know I've talked a lot about that. I know a lot of other people have talked about Ando a lot. I think Ando can still go a very long way. Ando right now is sitting at what? It just hit back $1 once again, up 8.6% today. But when we had that big dip, it came all the way down to like 80 cents. Ando is going to do, I believe, closer to like $5 to $7 in this bull market, and it's been doing very, very well. And overall in the future, Ondo is going to do very well. They're just building a lot with BlackRock and their Buildo asset fund. They got their stable coin now. And then the other one that I'm keeping in mind here is Aerodrome Finance. We've seen how big Base has gotten, and the Base network is only going to continue getting bigger with Coinbase continuing to grow always, right? Becoming the legitimate partners in most of all these ETFs, right? The Base network, I believe, is going to continue getting highlighted, and a lot of transactions are going to start going over there. We saw that happening with all the meme coins, right? All the Base meme coins. But Base doesn't really have anything else besides meme coins except for Aerodrome. And that's why I'm so convicted of Aerodrome, because they don't really have anything else going on.
Did you see what Base they just announced about Base yesterday in the news?
What?
Atari is releasing their retro games on Base.
Let's go, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, for those old retro gamers out there that remember playing, Space Invaders and Pac-Man on the Atari. I don't know how it's going to play out yet. I may have to have Crux take a look at that because he does all the quick dives and deep dives. For the academy here, but we may have to have is there a way I could play Pac-Man and make money? Crux, let me know. That's what I want to do. But yeah, so I'm bullish on a lot of Base, but I will say that Ondo, we're huge on that here in our community. We've been talking about Ondo for a while in here. And then, but Arrow, I personally am not so sure on Arrow. I mean, I know that there's some strong plus to it, but some deep dives that Crux did on it, he has some questionable things. Crux, let me know in the chat what some of those were, just so that if you remember what they were offhand, some of your red flags, so that Crusader, maybe he can provide some insight on that for us, because you do your homework, and we like that, Crusader. So
I mean, I just like the fact that Aerodrome is the only DeFi play, or the biggest DeFi play on Base, right? There's not a lot going on Base, and it's just a new network. It's connected to Coinbase. They've ran all the way up to like over $2, right? When they had that big dip, when all the entire market took a big dip, it came all the way down to 41 cents. It's already back up to 92 cents. So it's definitely a performer.
Well, just so you're tracking, he says he likes Arrow now because they injected funds about 2 weeks ago in. So there you go. Even his red flags have been resolved on Arrow. So, but yeah, we'll have to check Arrow out. Our big watch here, Crusader, is Caspa. That's the one we talk about all the time. I was talking about Caspa on yours and Keeper show freaking almost a year ago, bro.
When it was like 3 cents,
I was talking about it on your show. So dude, yeah.
Conversation back in like September of 2023. We were talking, it was literally like 3 cents.
And I was like, dude, this is going to be the one to watch. Remember that? So there you go. Did you get in on Caspa? Did you get Caspa?
I do own Caspa. I started to get in on Caspa around 9 cents. Around 9 cents is when I started to get into Caspa. I've been loading up around there. My biggest concern with Caspa, and it's just full on conspiracy, right? And there's no like legitimate concern, is the amount of profitability there is in the Caspa mining, right? They're just so profitable. And now we have was it Marathon or well, it was one of these big Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's Mara. Yep.
They're
one
mining,
of my Bitcoin plays. Yeah, Mara.
they're mining Caspa, right? It's so profitable. Each machine is making you like $50 or 30 or 40, between 30 or $50, depending on what machine you're looking at. And dude, it's just so profitable that there has to be a lot of selling pressure on Caspa from all these massive mining operations.
But there's a lot of buying pressure because the exchanges need it. They can't get it. So
yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that just like, it's like stuck in the back of my mind that just like, I don't know if it doesn't bother me, but it worries me how profitable, because it's so profitable compared to like Bitcoin mining, right?
Yeah,
Bitcoin,
TradeFly's got a miner en route right now, and then I know Keeper's really big into mining it. So yeah, a lot of people there. The Daily Dose asked, "What do you think about Ton? What's your take on Ton, Crusader?"
Yeah, so Ton, I wasn't really keeping any big radar on it. I wasn't really looking at it too deeply, but it is performing well. It is doing well, right? It's connected to Telegram. Telegram, obviously, a lot of crypto people are all over Telegram. Ton has been building some decent meme coins out there. The thing that makes Ton a little unique that I like about it is the fact that, besides the marketing that it has and all that stuff, there's no, especially for the meme coins on Ton, that's pretty much what's been boosting it up a lot this bull market, is the meme coins that have been built there, is that they don't have a deployer like Base or Solana has, where it just takes 3 clicks and bing bang boom, you have a new meme coin launched on there. So it's more of a, you have to have a real developer, and you have real developers on there building stuff. But Ton's an interesting one. I don't personally own any Ton, but I definitely think it can do decently well. I think I recently did a price prediction on Ton. I think it can do some double digits. Nothing huge, but I definitely think it has a lot more room to run if it continues to gain traction and adoption. And a lot of one of the biggest problems is kind of like Caspa. Not a lot of exchanges have it right now. A lot of exchanges support the Ton network, which is one of the things that
I got mine on crypto.com. So at least it's there. So
Ton is on crypto.com.
Yep, it is. It is now. Yeah. So is Notcoin. So if you're wanting to get Not and Ton, you can get both of them on crypto.com now. But yeah, let's take a look at Ondo on the chart, because I'm actually seeing something pretty interesting here on the chart that you may want to know, Crusader. And then also Crux of Crypto said Ondo tokenomics will have selling pressure Q1 next year, as more than double the tokens will be in circulation. So that's why Crux, I'm telling you, he's clutch on the in this team. So always digging through that data. So yeah, Q1 next year, look for some of that selling pressure to kick in. It might be time to take some profit, rotate it back in later. That's how you run that portfolio, right? So let's jump over, check out my chart here, and then OC, have something queued up there, guys. Let us know in the chat. We got time for a couple of tokens for altcoins, so let us know what you guys would like to see, and then we will let Crusader come back and talk about what his favorite chart setup is right now. So Crusader, if you go ahead and start looking at your charts, we'll have that ready to go too. Guys, taking a look at Ondo here. What's that? You good, Crusader?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm listening.
Okay. Cool. I thought you said something. So yeah, looking here, guys, we do have this trend line that we've been following back here since June 3rd. So about almost a little over a month and a half, almost 2 months now. That has been key resistance all the way down here. We have had a couple of breakouts where we tested this 50% and broke down, lost that golden pocket, almost made it down to the platinum pocket here again, just like we had previously. I'm watching for this breakout right here, guys, because we do look like we have this very strong declination, this angle, as OC likes to point out, anytime we're above a 45-degree angle, just picture a box down here, you got that 45-degree angle, right? Anytime we are in this alpha zone versus this beta zone, that is a very bullish move on momentum. We're seeing that on the Oscillator Pro. We've got very strong RSI candles going on here. Good, nice, long candles continuing on, not getting any of the wicking going on, any of the slowdown. We are getting a little curvature, but I think that will be okay as we run into this line. What I'm going to be watching is here, this. Let's bring this into focus and let's talk about Ondo here on the 4 hour. We are above the 0.66 of the golden pocket. We are above the 100-day EMA on here. So the daily EMA, the golden pocket, giving us support. If we can get up here above the 618 and break through, you guys see right there coming through, that's the dynamic reactor on the 4 hour. Very key resistance levels that if we break it tends to mean, hey, that's it, we've gone bullish. Plus, the prophecy is telling us market pumps. So here's the play. If we get up here, we get above the 618, we break the dynamic reactor, we break this trend line, guys, watch for a retest. That retest, if it comes in somewhere on this trend line, especially if it overlaps a little bit later, like this weekend, and it does it here on the 618 with that trend line, I'm going to be watching for that 50% move. That is going to be the key level of resistance that we've had here. Hey, lock your fibs, Reggie. Lock your fibs. That's going to be the key level that we're watching here for us to break through. If we break through that, guys, we could have a complete breakout of this entire trend line taking place, and that would give us the opportunity to come back up, retest that higher than $1 marks as high as $1.45 there on Ondo. Things are looking pretty set up on it right now. Let's just check the daily real fast to see how this is looking. Yeah, it looks like we are getting a bounce here on the cloud. You can see the green cloud versus the red cloud. It does look like we're getting a bounce there too. And the RSI is starting to show us a bottoming out at the 30% mark here of the relative strength index, getting a very small candle on this daily. This looks poised for a breakout on Ondo. So there you go, man. There's some bullish TA on your token. That's your favorite project that you're watching right now, Crusader. OC, let's kick it over to you, and then we'll bring it back around to Crusader. It looks like we got Jasmine and Soul and maybe some Dot. I don't know. We'll see what we have time for here, guys. It is about 10 minutes. So what do you got for us, OC?
Absolutely, we have the soul training here. So let's take a look at what we have. I've been keeping track on Solana. We have this big trend line coming down, and remember, it's not about the breakout; it's about the retest. We were expecting this retest. Hopefully, you guys did jump in as we were expecting. The only thing that did not kind of like played out as I was expecting was if we're having a prematurely flip to the ribbon or not that dramatic flip of the ribbon. Nonetheless, the breakout retest it's playing out. Let's go to the 4 hour to see what could we be expecting throughout this. As you can see, we formed a bullish pennant here, broke to the upside. We basically nailed the target, and then we're coming down. We went exactly to the target, and then we're bouncing up. So let's get started with a couple of here. So let me see what else could I be forming from here. So the first thing that I'm seeing, I'm getting there we go, a little bit out of getting a little bit more weeks into here. There we go, perfect. Now that it has updated, what I'm looking for, it is green numbers here. Sorry for that. And those green numbers usually indicates me that I'm gonna be either continuing through the upside, but also something important, it is usually next to those green numbers we're going to be see low volume negative numbers. So that's going to be my big resistance area. So where's that resistance? Right there. So if
What's
we
that
aren't
price?
able to, oh, that price, it is exactly at 191.73.
Yeah, for our
If we're
listeners
able
that
to
are driving
push
right
through
now,
it.
they got to know those numbers, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. My bad right there. So basically, if we can make it through 192, 191, and they go to 200, on the 200s, we could be retracing and finding back support. Remember, previous resistance becomes new support, and we can see also a little bit of continuation based on our predictive ranges. Our predictive ranges right here are for the purple line is 196. So we want to see that breakout before that rejection. So just to keep things online or in line, our breaking through the zero line, and remember, we were expecting a flip of the ribbon. That flip of the ribbon happened a little bit below, and something important is that pierce through. So do I think that we're gonna make it? Yes, but not without a fight. So targets right now 200. for the short-term scenario, and then a little bit of a retracement, maybe going to dynamic reactor. So other than that, so let's throw it back to you guys to see what you guys can have in between your hands.
Awesome. Let's kick it over to you, Crusader, and see what you got. And then I'll finish it out with some MicroStrategy and Clean Spark because I'm seeing some stuff on the charts yesterday, guys, what we called playing out beautifully. Let's jump over. What you got for us, Crusader?
Yeah, so I'll be looking here at ICP. I've been tracking this one for a while. It's a little bit of a messy chart here, but we dipped all the way down when we lost when we lost the quarter 2 range. We dipped back into the quarter 4 of 2023. Right, not a lot of volume from quarter 4, I say, of 2023 between $8 and $4. But we were able to come down, find some support here at $6. Since then, we've bounced back up and we have left. Right, we're sitting at the value area high or right above it for quarter 4 of 2023, and we got a gold pocket sitting up here at $15.18 to $15.64. Right above that, right below that is the naked point of control for quarter 2 of this year. So if we are able to regain $11, right, and we start jumping back into this range, $11.50, give or take, we have that naked point of control at $12.90. And then we have the gold pocket at $15.18, between $15.18 and $15.64 to the upside. And that's going to be, we do have some resistance here at $11 and some change. We've seen multiple times it's bounced or it's been rejected from here. But if we are able to regain this quarter 2 range, I think it's going to be very, very bullish for ICP. And obviously then at that point, ICP has had a lot of resistance at this $15 area. The whole quarter 2 has been nothing but rejections off $15. Only one time where we were able to break up into $20 and then instantly lost it. Wasn't even able to hold that support. But I'm very interested to see if ICP can regain this $11.50 area. And if it does, I think it's going to have a nice little run to the upside.
Nice, beautiful. I love it. I do have time to squeeze in Jasmine. Kyle Fields asked for Jasmine. So let me try to get this info. Dude, we talked about this yesterday. I literally said, watch for a bounce here on the 887. These are the lines that were on here from yesterday. I said we have the 100-day moving average coming in. We have the 887 at about 2.5 cents. And we are starting to get divergences down here on the Oscillator Pro. So we're down at the 30% mark. I would watch for a resistance here at the 50-day moving average. That's that green line. And then the dynamic reactor crossing over with it. We are above that. We are back past the 1-to-1. If you had gotten in on this yesterday when we were talking about it, that was a move of over 13% at a current price. So great call yesterday on Jasmine, and that's Jasmine. Let's jump over and let's take a look at MicroStrategies and Clean Spark, guys, because yesterday we also talked about some levels. I said, hey, look, we've got the dynamic reactor and the 50-day coming in here. I would watch for support there. That's exactly where we wicked down to, got the bounce off of it, back up to the upside. From that point till now, that call is up 15.7% on MicroStrategies yesterday. And in Clean Spark, we've talked about this accumulation range on Clean Spark for a long time. This has been the scalp range. If you wanted to go in and play some options calls or just do some spot buys and sells, this is the range to pick up in it. Again, that range is between $15 up to about $16. It is inside the golden pocket. We have now found support on it again yesterday, guys, and hit that 100-day moving average, hit that 0.66, closed everything above it. We are at resistance right now on that 50-day, but I am expecting us to come down to the point of control and get another move to the upside for that top side range in the platinum pocket. Clean Spark keeps playing out over and over and over again. So there you go. Let's get into this trio guest. There we go. Bam. Crusader, we made it. Bottom of the hour, man. OC, thanks for dropping in with us, man. I'm glad you made it. And Crusader, it's been great having a guest, you as a guest today. Anytime you want to come on the show, guys, or Crusader, the guys would love to have you here, man. You are always a welcome guest here at the Academy. And then also, if you guys don't follow Crusader, check out his link below. It's in the description. He's got great content over there on his show. Crusader, what do you got for the people, man?
Appreciate it, man.
Address the alumni.
I'm more than happy to come back whenever you guys want. That's fine. I'm always good for collaboration and stuff like that. It's always fun hanging out with a few other guys. But yeah, man, everybody just needs to be patient, man. Patience. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. Right. There's going to be, you need to have patience when we're at all-time highs. We need to have patience when we're at all-time lows. Patience is the name of the game. Whether you're trading or you're dollar cost averaging, you're a long-term holder, investor, doesn't matter what you're doing. patience is key. Without patience, you're gonna sell top, you're gonna buy tops, and you're gonna sell bottoms, right? You're gonna panic sell on your shorts. You're gonna get into bad trades, whatever it is. You're gonna FOMO into candles. If you have patience, you're gonna make it in this game. That's all it is. It's all about risk management. And to have risk management, you need to have patience, whether you're trading or you're dollar cost averaging for the long term.
Absolutely. Yesterday, I actually said I'm going to bring this up here. I got to show you this just so that we can address, because yesterday I wore a shirt for a reason. Every day that I have like these shirts on, guys, there's a reason to the shirt that I'm wearing most of the time. But yesterday I wore this shirt here. Let me bring it up. I got to get it going back here. There we go. Right there. Yesterday, this is the shirt that I had on, guys. It said HODL. There was a reason for that. We were in a down sell, and I said, this is what you're going to need to do. This is HODL. That's what we're doing. That's the name of this game. So, yeah, your call for patience, man, absolutely spot on. At the end of the day, remember, you're here for the long run. As Piano Matty B says, we're playing a long game. So, thanks for joining us today, Crusader. We appreciate you, man. Always welcome to come back and sit with the panel here at the Academy, man. We would love to have you on. And if you want to do a crypto nightcap with TradeFly and FD White sometime, let me know. We'll get you on there too. So
for sure.
All right. OC, what do you got for the people, man? Tell them what they win if they hit the like button today. And by the way, before you go into that, people, if you have hit the like button and the notification bell and you went and noticed that it was turned off, that's happening with a lot of people on the channels. Go in there, hit that subscribe button again, turn it off and then resubscribe and then hit that notification bell, because a lot of people are getting notifications turned off on YouTube right now. I'm not sure what it is with the algorithm or why it's doing it. But yeah, I think they're after me. They're after me, Bitcoin. Reset that notification bell. OC, what do you got for the people, man?
First of all, Crusader is so glad to have you back on the internet. We miss you. I mean, I'm a big fan of your content. Really happy to see you back in action.
Thank
so
you.
Whenever you want to come back in here, remember, this is your house, this is your home, and really appreciate you stopping by. Also, I have a little bit question for you. How's your laundry doing, guys?
Dude,
I
don't waste a lot of clothes. I'm always wearing my robes.
Oh, great! You must have hit the like button, because, guys, if you have a big pile of laundry not done, remember to click that like button, because if you do, those things might last one more use. Remember just to ventilate, flip, and reuse. And for the love of what all of is holy, do not repeat too much that thing. But you need to click that like button for it to work.
Do I click the like button on YouTube or do I click the like button on my wife? There you go. Guys, thanks for joining us here today. Thanks for joining us here today on Piper Academy. We're going to be back here Monday morning. Remember, this weekend, expect some volatility, guys. We do have a pump going right now, but we are at some key levels of resistance. So if you're going to trade this weekend, please be safe. Reminder, we'll be back here Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until then, guys, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, form a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after the wheels fall low. Sound off to get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra. Yeah, that's my love.